Hello my beautiful babes, and welcome back to my channel. Now let's keep it a buck. I get my 5 gold stars when it comes to these hair tutorials. You know what I'm saying? Like in my tutorials, I've shown you guys the step-by-steps. I've given you detailed and very descriptive tips on the entire wig installation process. I've shown you what to do from the minute you hear that doorbell and your package arrives till the very moment that it's time to call it a day and take that entire wig off for the night. However, what I haven't done is show you guys what you're not supposed to be doing. So in this video today, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 very common mistakes that I see so many people doing that's giving them at a level 1 when I really need y'all to be up here to level 10. You know what I mean? This video is courtesy of having watched so many hair tutorials and just cringing at the sight of seeing people doing certain things that they're really not supposed to be doing. Like, I understand that we're all learning and not all of us are experts. I mean, me myself too, I'm still learning. And I also understand that there are multiple ways to do the same thing. But what I don't want to be seeing is the blind leading the blind. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're gonna make a wig tutorial teaching the girls, let's at least do it well. This video is also courtesy of Asteria Hair. Throughout this entire video, as you pick up on the 5 common mistakes that you're not supposed to be making during your wig installation, you're also going to be seeing this gorgeous hair from them. It is their water wave hair, and the specs of this hair, I have it in 28 inches. It's HD lace. It is 13 by 6, and oh, it's 250% density as well. The wig is really fine and just so lush and beautiful, and with the way it was made, it really just helps you avoid making a lot of the mistakes that I'm going to be listing today. And like I said, I've seen so many videos to the point where like I can really list out 30 mistakes if I wanted to, 30 common mistakes at that. However, I'm respectful of your time, so I'm going to spare your time today and just start off with giving you 5 common mistakes, starting with number 1. So this first one should really be a given, but sometimes people don't understand the importance of it, and you know, that's okay. But common mistake number 1 is purchasing lace that is just way too thick. Gone are the days where you're forced to make thick lace blend into your skin. Like, I remember back in the day, finding thin lace or HD lace was so difficult, to the point where a lot of us, I cannot lie, we're walking around with bricks on our heads. But thankfully, HD lace is so much more accessible now. However, I'm listing this here because some companies are still a little sneaky with how they word certain things on their website. So sometimes you'll think that you're ordering HD lace. Instead, you're getting just very thick regular lace. Sometimes they'll try to throw in words like transparent or clear, just certain words that don't necessarily mean HD lace, but they'll kind of market it like it is HD lace. So yeah, just try to be very cautious that when you're ordering HD lace, you're looking to make sure that that's exactly what you're ordering. On the other side of the spectrum, some people just don't even know the difference of different types of laces. Some people don't even know that there's a thing called HD lace, and as shocking as it may seem, it's actually very common. And I look at want to make a whole nother video just telling you guys how to beware of, you know, when you're buying things and the common things that you should really watch out for, but we'll save that for another time. But I just want you to know that in short, thick lace is very difficult to blend. There is always, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much elastic band pressure you use on that lace, there's always going to be a line of demarcation between your skin and the lace, and thick lace just makes it very difficult to blend. Thick lace is also very visible from afar, and we already put so much work into our wigs and our hair that the last thing you want is for somebody to clock your wig and be able to tell that you have a wig on. And the third thing with thick lace, you don't get that longevity that you would with HD lace. Sometimes with thick lace, a lot of the product gets stuck in there. And I've also seen lace that ends up like curling up just because of how thick it is. And it makes it just so much harder to keep your favorite wigs with you because it's not going to look realistic for a long period of time. And in the end, it also just adds to the amount of work that you have to put into your wig, your installation, your prep, all of that. And baby, I don't have time for that. Thankfully, again, that's why we have companies like Asteria Hair. Asteria Hair makes it so easy to buy HD lace. The first time I bought from them, my lace was so nice and so clean. Like, I love the first wig that I had because it was just so easy to work with. It was thick, it was voluminous, it was curly, and it was very easy to work with. So yeah, it was a very easy decision that I made to just go ahead and get another curly wig from them. And just like before, it came pre-plucked and pre-bleached. And speaking of pre-bleached, that takes me into common mistake number 2. Now this one, many of us are guilty of it, you know, some a little bit more than others, no shade, no tea. But by this point, I'm assuming that you've watched so many hair tutorials and you've probably already worked on so many of your own wigs before, to the point where you know that over bleaching your knots is literally the first and most annoying way to take a perfectly good wig and ruin it. Bleaching your knots is often the first thing, sometimes the first step that you ever take into customizing and prepping your wig for installation. And when it's done incorrectly, it can literally ruin your wig. And don't get me wrong, I know that most times it is reversible reversible. You know, all you have to do is just take your hair dye or the hair dye that is the same exact color as the wig and just re-dye the parts that have been over bleached. However, I'm not trying to do that. You're not trying to do that. I would much rather just find a way to avoid all of that altogether. You know, like, I'm just not trying to do all that extra work. For me, prevention is always better than cure. And common mistake number 2 that I see a lot of people doing, and it was a mistake that I also made at the very beginning when I was still a beginner with wigs, but common mistake number 2 is either making your bleach mixture a little too watery or too thick. In my tutorials, I always try to advise making your bleach mixture somewhere between like honey and like applesauce. Some people also say make your bleach mixture to be, I think, the consistency of toothpaste. I still think that it's way too thick. Like, I find that when your mixture is too thick, you tend to apply way too much pressure to that lace just because the consistency is thick, just so that you can even get the right amount of application or get the right amount of mixture applied to the lace. And once that much pressure is applied, it makes it so easy to get that mixture from one side of the lace to the other side. And then on the reverse end of that, when you have your mixture too watery, baby, just the slightest amount of pressure and you've already gotten that mixture to be on the other side of the lace. So if there's anything that you can pick up from what I'm saying right now, basically you want to keep that bleach mixture on one side of the lace where the knots are. My golden rule is sometimes just being able to see just the little top part of the knots on the other side of the lace. You know, like as I part the hair, I want to be able to see the smallest amount of knot on that lace. That way I know for a Fendi fact that I am not getting any of that bleach mixture on the actual hair itself. So yeah, do your due diligence, make multiple different mixtures, do multiple different application test trials as you need to, just to make sure that when it comes to your actual wig, you are not making the mistake of getting that mixture onto the hairs. Because last, once you get that mixture on the hairs, it's going to get bleached. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have to bring out the hair dye and dye your hair, and that's way too much work. I'd much rather just avoid that. So yeah, common mistake number 2, try to avoid it as best as possible because it's the first way to ruin a perfectly good wig. Another common mistake that I've witnessed and seen way too often is people just using the wrong shade altogether to tint their lace. So as you know, most times when you receive your hair, the lace tends to be like a weird, like grayish, ashy tint. And one of the ways that you're supposed to customize your wig is by tinting that lace itself. It is the easiest way to melt that lace into your scalp. And I find that it's a step that I can never skip out on, because just putting the bare, raw lace on my scalp, like, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. So I always just use a lace tint that is my foundation color or a shade that is just very close to my skin tone, and I apply it on my lace for a seamless blend. And just like with your regular face makeup, you have to get a foundation tint or a lace tint that is not too dark and not too light. You want something that blends into your skin. I've received so many comments, and I find these comments to be a little silly because at the end of the day, it's a wig, so you have to work with it the best that you can. But I've gotten comments before saying that, like, why am I using a foundation color? Or why am I using a tint color that is my actual skin tone when that is not realistic, because actual scalp color is lighter than your skin tone? And all I have to say to that is, fine, go ahead and use a brighter shade, use a shade that matches your scalp, and tell me that people won't be able to tell that you're wearing a wig. Like, babes, lace is not scalp and it'll never be scalp. The goal is to always just make the transition from your skin to the lace as seamless as possible. And honestly, making the lace your skin tone is the only option. It shouldn't be darker, it shouldn't be lighter. You should be trying to find something that matches. Point blank, period. For me, every time I do it this way, it looks great in different angles. It looks great in selfies. It looks great when I take pictures with flash. And overall, I always just do this to avoid looking crazy in public, okay? I found that the best lace tint for me has always been this Ebin foundation cream, and I apply this straight onto my lace and I spray it down, and that's it. It blends in beautifully and it just makes my installs look so gorgeous. When it comes to using a lighter shade, the only ever time that you should be doing that is sometimes along your parting. However, that lighter shade should never hit the perimeter of your lace. Like this, I can get away with. This, you can use something a little bit lighter and you can get away with that. But that lighter shade should never be hitting the perimeter of your lace. Yet another common mistake that I've noticed with people, especially beginners, unfortunately, no shade, no tea, but this is just something that I've realized, is for people expecting for the wig installs to be so seamless and flawless and easy, when the first thing they do when they get that package is to throw the wig on their head and get straight to styling. babe. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think the best way to get the most flawless installs is to always just make sure you're using a canvas head. Like with the canvas head, I get these super sleek, super realistic, super flawless installs. Like you can bleach your knots, you can straighten your wig, you can pluck your frontal, you can add your layers, you can add your parting, you can straighten your hair, you can crimp your hair, you can do so many things on a canvas head. And for me, honestly, it eliminates the amount of styling that I have to do on my head, because truth be told, this is what it looked like on my canvas head. All I do once I put this wig on is literally to spray my wig down, glue it down, you know, whatever method you plan on using, and I just do my edges and that's it. Like, no extra time is spent on my hair. It makes it so easy. Like, and I get so many comments of people asking like, oh, how do you make it look so easy? Babe, the install itself only ever looks so easy because I do most of the work on the canvas head. To me, not only is that the quickest hack to a seamless and very quick install, but a flawless one too. Like, take a look at this. On to the last and final common mistake. Thankfully, I don't see a lot of people do this, but when I do, I can't lie, the thing they pay me, like, it's almost like an eyesore to somebody who is almost like programmed to see or to know what good lace looks like. And for me, I feel bad because, babe, it is so clockable. I don't know, some people sometimes do not know, and that's completely fine, but never have I ever watched a hair tutorial and see somebody tell you to leave 2 inches of lace in the front. I don't understand why people do it. And again, it's completely fine, but babe, if you do it, please stop. It is so clockable. Common mistake number 5 is just leaving way too much lace in the front. I just feel like no matter what, you can have the sleekest hair, the prettiest curls, the most vibrant hair color. You could have even gone to the best of the best hairstylists. However, once there's 2 inches or 1 inch of lace here, that's all my eyes will be seeing. Like, that's all I'll see, and that's what a lot of people end up seeing. So yeah, keep your install at a 10. You know, don't drop it down to a 7 or nothing with keeping so much of that lace there. I get the logic behind it because you think that it'll be a little bit more seamless when it comes to blending, or like the line of demarcation is going to be a little less harsh. However, it almost does the reverse of that because I don't know, like that lace is just, it's so visible, and it defeats the entire purpose of having HD lace or like a seamless install. For me, when I cut my lace, not only am I going in zigzag motions to avoid having like that really straight line, but I'm also making sure that I'm cutting as close to those hair follicles as possible. You know what I mean? Sadly, a lot of people do leave a good chunk of that lace in front, and that's just something you want to avoid moving forward. It's not helping your install, babe. I hate to break it to you. Now listen, with all of this being said, for as long as you've plucked your hairline and it's not looking too bulky, and you follow through with avoiding every single thing that I've mentioned in this video, I kid you not, babe, you will have the most undetectable, the most seamless install to date. And to be quite frank, if anybody notices they're too close, they need to back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, that is all that I have for you guys today. In this video, I shared with you 5 common mistakes that you should be avoiding just to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to a flawless install. And if this just so happened to be a mistake that you were making in the past, no shade to you, babe. Like, trust me, we all have our fair share of mistakes, but just make sure not to do it again, okay? A lot of these mistakes are very, very avoidable, just as long as you know what to watch out for and what to look out for. And that's why I felt that a video like this was very, very important to put out there. You know, sometimes it's not every day, oh, what should I do? What should I be doing? How can I achieve this? Sometimes it's important for you to be knowing what not to do, okay? How not to look silly in public. Sorry. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want me to share a few more tips, because like I said, I could share 30 if I wanted to, but I wanted to spare you guys this time a little bit. But if you want 5 more, let me know and I'll make a second video. But with that being said, and with lots of love, I will see you babes in my next one. Bye.